morning. This is your breakfast news live from AYOGEN online television, live from Ondo City. I am Makajola Oluwatosin. Here are the major headlines. On our local news this morning, Kwara Labour finally resolved minimum wage consequential adjustment. UI emerges best varsity in NUC's 2021 ranking. Buhari react as South Africa President Ramaphosa tests positive to COVID-19. On our political news this morning, APC sinks further as former reps member dig thousands of others dump party for PDP in Benue. On our business news this morning, 5G spectrum license auction kicks off at $199.37 million. On a Rangig EPL, Ralph Rangig reverses transfer decision made by Solskjaer at Man United. On our news this morning, Omicron deadlier gets vaccinated now, says COVID on Begs Nigeria. On our foreign news this morning, 12 at Russian bomb injures 12 at Russian school. Ex-students suspected. On our entertainment news this morning, fame manipulative makes you feel like a god, says Fireboy. So the full details coming up next. Kwara Labour finally resolved minimum wage consequential adjustment. Kwara State Government and the Organized Labour under the auspices of the Joint Negotiating Council, JNC, Kwara State Council on Monday, concluded the EU of consequential adjustment on grade level 07 to 17 for the new minimum wage. Similarly, a comprehensive agreement was signed by both parties for the implementation of the consequential adjustment to take effect without further delay. The agreement, according to the Secretary JNC Kwara Council, Tunde Joseph, in a statement in the Lorry on Monday, was signed by the head of service HOS, Mrs. Dupe Susan Oluwole, who represented the government by the Organized Labour, was represented by the TUC chairman, NLC chairman, and JNC chairman and his secretary, respectively. Others at the meeting with National Union of Pensioners, NUP chairman, Nolge president, MHWU, and chairman and National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, NAMN chairman. This development has brought to an end the EU of negotiating on the consequential adjustment of the minimum wage in Kwara State. The statement said, in view of the above, the leadership of JNC Kwara State Council wish to sincerely appreciate the support and encouragement of Kwara State workers for their patriotism before, during, and after the negotiation, and wants to use this opportunity to thank the leadership of NLC, TUC, and JNC Council members for their understanding always. The Organized Labour in the state appreciates the gesture of His Excellence for the conclusion of the EU of a consequential adjustment, and also appeal to the government to direct the appropriate office to commence salary harmonization for the workers in the state, alongside salary increase to cushion the effect of inflation on the prices of goods and services in the economy. The agreement and the signed table as agreed shall be made available for record and auctions purposes as soon as possible, the statement added. UI emerges best varsity in NUC's 2021 ranking. The National Universities Commission, NUC, is ranked the University of Ibadan, UI, first on its latest 2021 ranking released on Sunday. The ranking, which was carried out using 12 indicators, involved 113 universities across Nigeria. The institutions were ranked based on the Google Scholar Index, the total number of full-time students, student and staff ratio, efficiency, the number of international students, and contribution to the knowledge economy. Other criteria include percentage of programs with full-time accreditation, percentage of international staff, all citations per capita, amongst others. The lead presenter, Professor Peter Okebukola, disclosed this in Abuja on Monday during a capacity building workshop on improving the ranking of public universities in Nigeria, organized by the Tertiary Education Trust Fund. Okebukola, who spoke on the overview of global university ranking and the system in the Nigeria higher education, the full report would be made available to NUC and uploaded on a website. He said you cannot get any form of ranking system in the old wide world that does what Nigeria has done for this 2021 edition based on the 12 indicators that will have developed. The University of Ibadan is the first, followed by the Federal University of Technology, Akure. Next year, we'll look at all the indicators that we used this year and see whether there are things to add or drop. So it's going to be an annual thing. However, he lamented that some universities didn't show up for the ranking while urging them to partake in the next ranking, which has become an annual event. Buhari reacts as South African President Ramaphosa tested positive to COVID-19. President Muhammadu Buhari has sent a get-well message to his South African counterpart, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, who tested positive for COVID-19. In a statement by Garba Shehu, the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, on Monday, President Buhari prayed for Ramaphosa's speedy recovery. He said, "My heart and prayers are with Mr. Ramaphosa of South Africa at this difficult moment of health challenges, and I pray for his speedy and full recovery. Mr. Ramaphosa is a friend of Nigeria and an important partner in our joint continental effort to tackle Africa's social, economic, and political difficulties. The coronavirus pandemic is a reality and has no respect for persons." President Buhari particularly reminded Nigerians to disregard the allegation that the pandemic is a foreign creation to depopulate Africa and boost the financial interest of Western pharmaceutical companies through vaccine production. He warned that lack of attention to medical advice and apathy are damaging to the government's efforts to contain the spread of this deadly viral disease. The president therefore advised Nigerians to come out fully and get vaccinated. On our political news this morning, APC sinks further as former reps, member Dieg, thousands of others dump party for PDP in Benue State. The fortunes of the All Progressive Congress (APC) in Benue State are further depleted with the exit of a 3-member of the House of Representatives, retired Honorable John Dieg and his teaming supporters. A former director of administration at the Federal Medical Center Makurdi, Dr. Joseph Igbawua, also dumped the APC for the PDP. The decamping ceremony, which was held Monday, 13th December 2021 at the NKST Primary School, Genyi Yandev in Boko local government area, witnessed thousands of APC members in Boko local government leaving the party in droves. National Chairman of the PT, Dr. AYOGEN, who presented party flags to the lead decampees, disclosed that one of his core agenda in the PDP is to reconcile all the state chapters of the party and prepare for victory at the polls in 2023. He urged the people of the local government to shun divisive tendencies and support the party to ensure that the party is returned victorious in all future elections in the state and the federal level. He assured that mammoth crowds that trooped out for the ceremony, the massive homecoming to the PDP will be witnessed under his leadership as national chairman. He hinted that one day Governor Autumn will bring Senator Akume to him to be baptized by the PDP bishop. Dr. Ayu warned rumor mongers and crisis entrepreneurs to stay clear of the leadership in Benue, pointing out that they will never fight with Governor Autumn but remain a pillar of support for him and his administration. The national chairman said the honor Benue people will give him is to ensure victory for the people in the 2023 elections across all the wards in the state. Honorable Dieg, representing Boko Taka at the House of Representatives, said his exit from the APC was primarily because of the election of Dr. AYOGEN as national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Besides, he said he would believe Governor Autumn deserves support from every Benue person because of the purposeful leadership he has brought to bear on the affairs of the state, coupled with the transformation of Boko by the Autumn administration. Receiving the decampees, Governor Samuel Autumn pledged sustained unity among leaders in the state, stressing that a lot of benefits will be derived from unity of purpose. Governor Autumn will corroborated Senator Ayu's prediction that Senator George Akume will soon return to the PDP, said Akume does not belong to where he is currently and will surely return and be baptized by the PDP. During the decamping ceremony, Honorable Dieg presented two 406 Peugeot cars to Gboko and Taka local government PDP chairman as his contribution to the growth of the party. Senator Gabriel Sizwan, Orkev Abamoro, as well as members of the House of Representatives and Benue State House of Assembly Speaker, amongst others, gave goodwill messages at the ceremony. On our business news this morning, 5G spectrum license auction kicks off at $199.37 million. The Nigerian Communications Commission has begun the auction for the two slots of 3.5 GHz spectrum available for the deployment of fifth generation network known as 5G in the country. The auction is presently ongoing in Abuja. Earlier, the Commission had announced that 3 telecoms companies have qualified as approved bidders of the auction. NTN Nigerian PLC Mafab Communications Limited and Airtel Network Limited are currently bidding for the spectrum, and the first round began at $199.37 million as against the reserve price of $197.4 million. On our sport news this morning regarding the ongoing English Premier League, Ralph Rangnick reverses transfer decision made by Solskjaer at Man United. Manchester United interim boss Ralph Rangnick has reserved a transfer decision made by the club's former manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Old Trafford. Manchester United defender Diogo Dalot appeared surplus to requirements under Solskjaer at Old Trafford behind Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the battle of the starting right-back four. The Portuguese spent last season out on loan with AC Milan in order to gain regular playing time and was expected to go out again this season. According to reports in Corriere dello Sport via Sport Witness, a move for Dalot is no longer certain, with Rangnick pinpointing the player as a starter in the early weeks of his tenure. Dalot has played every Premier League minute since the change of manager, and Wan-Bissaka now appears as the man fighting for minutes. Meanwhile, Man United will face Brentford in the Premier League tie on Tuesday night. The Red Devils currently sit in the 5th position on the Premier League table with 27 points from 16 games. On our health news this morning, Omicron deadlier gets vaccinated now. COVID begs Nigerians. The Coalition Against COVID-19 COVID has appealed to Nigerians to get vaccinated in the wake of Omicron. The variant first identified in South Africa in November 4, 2021 has been labeled a variant of concern (VOC) by the World Health Organization. The strain has been detected in 20 countries, including Belgium, Hong Kong, Israel, Germany, Australia, United Kingdom, and Nigeria, as reported by the National Center for Disease Control, NCDC. In a statement on Monday, COVID, the federal government private sector task force urged citizens not to let their guards down. The body said interrupting transmission of Omicron remains the best defense and path to returning to normalcy. There is a need to remain steadfast to safety protocols, wearing of face mask, maintaining social distancing, frequent washing of hands, and getting vaccinated. It read, COVID-19 vaccination plays a huge role as it helps to reduce the risk of spreading the virus and prevents one from getting seriously ill, even if infected. The statement further charged those yet to take the second dose of vaccine to do so in order to be fully immunized against the virus. COVID promised to continue to support the NCDC in its course to eradicate COVID-19 through the dissemination of helpful communication. Nigeria is posed a raft to travel restrictions and protocols. Inbound travelers must present a negative COVID-19 test result done not more than 48 hours before departure. Outbound passengers, regardless of the requirement of destination countries, as expected to present evidence of full vaccination or a negative COVID-19 PCR test done not later than 48 hours before departure. On our foreign news this morning, bomb injures 12 Russian at Russian school as students suspected. Russian authorities says a homemade bomb went off in a school attached to an Orthodox Christian convent and injured 12 people. In Moscow, while an 18-year-old former student was identified as a suspect in the explosion, Russian authorities said on Monday the bomb detonated at the Valentin convent in a city 105 kilometers 65.2 miles away outside of Moscow, the Russian Interior Ministry said. Authorities said the teenager suspected of planting the bomb survived. He was in an intensive care. Media reports suggested he may have been motivated by hatred of teachers and nuns at the school. Staff and students were evacuated from the scene. Russia's investigative committee opened an investigation. Patriarch Kirill, the head of the Russian Orthodox Church, urged support for those wounded in the explosion and said he hoped authorities will do everything necessary to prevent such an incident from happening again. And the last on our list on entertainment news this morning, fame manipulative makes you feel good. We'll be right back shortly.
Christmas is here again. Hallelujah. As you all know, this season is a season when our Lord Jesus Christ was born. I will rejoice and be glad in it. That's why we, the management of AYOGEN television, using this medium to invite the society like churches, schools, businessmen and women to take part in this our festive program, which will start on the 1st of November 2021 to 23rd of December 2021, where you make your advert with a price that is very affordable. Christmas carol for schools and churches.
Welcome back. On entertainment news this morning, fame manipulative makes you feel like God, says Fireboy. Nigerian Afrobeat singer Fireboy has opened up on how dangerous it is to be famous. Fireboy, in an interview revealed that fame makes one feel like a god and can manipulate anyone into doing things and end up making costly mistakes. The Peru crooner noted that fame could mess up one mentally, causing costly mistakes. Fame is like money. These three things can get to you. They can mess you up mentally, they can affect your thoughts and manipulate into you doing things you're not supposed to do. You feel on top of the world and you just make mistakes. When you're famous and you make mistakes, you're making mistakes for everyone to see. It's different from when just a normal person that makes a mistake and you can quickly correct them. There are some mistakes that are very costly and I don't want to make costly mistake. He said, I'm always very careful. Fame is very dangerous. Fame is powerful. Sometimes you feel like a god. You're talking to a person and the person is even shaking. He added that his concern now is keeping this fame for a long time and being relevant as an Afrobeat artist. I have the pressure of beating my old record because I want to prove that I'm not just one hit maker, Fireboy said. And that will be that on our breakfast news. So thank you for watching. I want you to continue to subscribe on our YouTube channel on AYOGEN Online Television and continue to watch and follow us and like our page respectively on Facebook and Instagram. I remain your host, Makonjola Oluwatosin Esther. Do have a very wonderful day.